since the title of the film is Motel Acacia, do you have any like a creepy or horror experience inside a motel or a hotel for everyone?
Let's start with. Have you been in a motel and had a very scary experience? Does it have to be ghostly or supernatural? Or just scared in a motel?
Actually, I mentioned before I used to be the trainer of Miss Thailand for years. For the that's not the scary part. But anyhow, so we would take the contestants to maybe do a VTR in a resort outside Bangkok. You know? So we go to the place in a province called Kanchanaburi, which is like a place where they have this bridge of River Kwai, and a lot of people die there. So every night the girl get haunted, every night. And it's a big thing because the press were there and they were like kind of like, please don't let anybody know that the hotel has some issue with ghosts. And I was kind of like, maybe they train too much, maybe we gave them too much hard work during the day during the rehearsal. And then one night, I was sleeping, and as a Buddhist, we always carry our charm. So I always, like, when I'm in a strange place, I always wear my charm with me when I sleep. But I woke up one morning, it wasn't on my neck. So I was like, when did I take that off? Am I really like that drunk? I didn't drink anything, But anyhow, then the next night, I keep hearing noises, but not from this the same floor. It's upstairs. So I was like, well, what happened? Why? And who's up there? So I checked with the hotel. Said nobody up on the top floor. So that's the feeling that when you're in a strange place and then all the noises, all the stuff that you hear, you start to kind of wonder, who else had checked in before me? And they would check out.
You got one more film to do.
Welcome to Motel Acacia. Horrifying experience.
Yeah.
Staying in the same hotel with these two. Yeah, GC will agree. Jokes aside, I think the closest I have was 3 years ago. No, last year when I was shooting set in Slovenia, Indonesia, and on the first night when we moved into the hotel, and around 1 o'clock, then the whole room shaken. And the bed was literally like this, and it was my first night. And I was like, oh my God, we're doing horror, and that was the first experience. I was like, oh my God, Indonesia could be this spooky. And we were shooting 4 hours away from Jakarta. It's quite far away. And then 2 minutes later, like someone right now, it's earthquake! So that was the closest, but because coming from Malaysia, we don't have earthquake. The feeling of it, I think I could understand whenever people face this kind of situation. Luckily, it was just an earthquake, and that was the first earthquake in my life. That was the closest.
Welcome to Indonesia. All the earthquakes scares the shit out of you. No, I never really had an experience.
Bed bugs?
Bed bugs? I don't, but I don't know tonight, not to be hearing all this, lady half body with all the intestines and all that.
Is Thailand?
Yeah, so I don't know.
Where is this? Somewhere in the Philippines. I probably forgot the province. So I was doing mall shows before. And then one night, I was reading my comic books, and then a child ran outside. So I saw a child outside, and it was a balcony, running outside my balcony. There was a child, and then so I tried to ignore it. And he's not even there. I didn't see him, and then so I went back to the bed and then read again. And suddenly there's a woman running now outside the balcony. And then that's it. I called, can I change room? Yeah. That is the scariest. Someone from your back.
Imagine. It's not really something superstition-wise or with spirits, and it was not in a hotel. Maybe I shouldn't tell it, but we were shooting in the jungle in Latin America, and there were not really hotels there. But we landed with a little airplane in a little city in the jungle, and I looked it up, the little city where we should stay the first nights. And I saw on the internet images of that little city a few years ago, and there was a shootout between Virc, which is the terrorist organization who hides in the jungle, and the government's army, and a lot of people died. And I asked the director, how is it now, the situation? He said, oh no problem now, they're sitting around the table, they're negotiating about peace now. I said, okay. And we landed in a little city, and then we went with army trucks into the jungle, and we stayed at an army camp. And I thought, okay, this peace between Virc and the soldiers. And I was the first night in the camp, and there was a flat screen with CNN, and it was on the news that 60 kilometers further than where we were, there was again a shootout between Virc and an army camp, and a lot of people died. And that night was quite a horrifying night, because I knew at that moment, okay, so far the peace between Virc and the soldiers, and I was the only European there in the army camp, and Virc lives from kidnappings. So that night I thought, okay, let's see how it goes, go with the flow. So it was not about spirits, but nothing happened. So it was scary. Yeah. Oh, let's see.
We'd like to acknowledge some of the bloggers that just came in. Again, if you're going to use the hashtag today, it's welcome to Motel Acacia. Brad.
I've never experienced anything until I arrived in the Philippines.
No way.
So for 23 years of my life before in Malaysia, like nothing ever. And then when I came to the Philippines for the first time after meeting Bianca, it was immediately.
That was your reaction.
Absolutely. And, I remember this is pretty nearby. This is somewhere in Pasig, in our old apartment. It's definitely not the alcohol, because I only had one drink I remember that night, because she was blaming me on the alcohol, but it's not. I was in bed, and then I felt something brush against my feet, like a little feather or something like that, a little feather. And then I said, whatever, it happened again. And then when I opened my eyes, the left side of my view was normal, and everything on the right was sepia, like brown. And I started looking, and then I saw someone standing next to the bed, just looking at me angrily. And he had no face, but I knew he was a guy and he had really long hair. And I said, like, I think there's something in the room. And Bianca said, no, there's nothing there. I'm convinced there's someone looking at me right now. And she said, I don't see anyone. And immediately I was like, okay, I need to pee.
Is it true that when you see a ghost, you never see their feet?
I don't know. I only remember his non-existent face.
The child that was running with JC with walang feet.
I don't know, but I think the reason why I knew it was real was when the moment I walked out from the apartment, there was a different feeling. Like from a heavy feeling, it became like a normal feeling, like right now. But when in that apartment, it felt very heavy, like the air was extremely dense. So I was like, okay. First experience.
And there was another situation after that.
They said that you know it's a ghost if you don't see the feet. Anyway.
Yeah, my life is boring. No events.
Very
Uneventful.
Talia.
Just scary politician.
I'm the same. I'm sorry I don't have an experience to share.
Mine's like brunt.
Last time I was in Manila, I was staying in Quezon City. Where was I staying? Torre Venetia. And
Close by.
it's close by, and we were staying on the 30th floor. And we were in our room, and we noticed the doors starting to sway back and forth. And we didn't realize that an earthquake had hit, and so we quickly ran down 30 flights of stairs. Me and you, Brad. That was mine.
Okay.
Thank you.